So for the last week, we've had the Lexie Hull experience. We have had the Lexie Hull experience in Unrivaled. Like, they played last night, the Mist versus the Rose, and it was the full Lexie Hull experience. And this is why I think, like, I've heard a lot of people being, like, confused almost at why, at why Lexie Hull, or say not, at why they look to replace Lexie Hull. And if you're wondering why, it's like, oh, Lexie Hull is still there. It's like, she is the third string at her position this season. Like, Lexie Hull, there's going to be games where Lexie Hull plays 25 minutes, and there's going to be games where Lexie Hull plays 7 in this season. And I think for me, anyway, when it comes to Hull, is that is what, like, that's the type of player she is. Like, a lot of people, when they talk about Lexie Hull, are like, she is this absolute sniper, and I think she's a player that can shoot at times. And, like, she is a defensive specialist who is not the shooter people think she is. And that got shown tonight in the Unrivaled game. Like, Lexie Hull, that was 1 for 9 from the field, 0 for 4 from 3. And she has a serious issue with scoring layups. Like, she is, unless she is running to the basket and scoring a wide open layup, like, it's actually at the stage where, like, if Lexie Hull has a layup, I'm 50-50 if she's going to make it. Like, I'm as confident in Angel Reese hitting a layup than Lexie Hull hitting a layup. But that's the thing, again, with this game, with the game of basketball, is that I think Lexie Hull is still a super effective player. But we're seeing it all right now. We are seeing the whole, like, the entirety of Lexie Hull. We're seeing, like, the good, the bad, the ugly, everything in Unrivaled. Because a 3v3, a lot of the time, your weaknesses get exposed. Your weaknesses get exposed, but your strengths get highlighted. I think Lexie Hull's hustle, Lexie Hull's defense has been really highlighted. And the best example of this is Chelsea Gray. It is, like, everyone's talking about how Chelsea Gray is one of the best players in Unrivaled, and not talking about how the fact she gets cooked every game. Like, she gets cooked. Like, every point guard pretty much has a damn Unrivaled season high against him. She gets cooked. And also, in the half court, slowing down, like, it's, like, she is, like, she's ridiculously good. That's what Chelsea Gray's really good at. And, like, it's a game style that suits her. Like, your strengths and your weaknesses get shown. And the thing with Lexie Hull is, if you look at her percentages, last season, obviously, she shot 47% from 3. And pre-Olympic break, she was at 19% from 3. She was at 19% pre-Olympic break. So through 26 games, she was at 19%. Through the last 14 games, she shot so well, she pushed her jump shoot, she pushed it up to 47%. And she was coming off a season where, starting 25 games, she shot 21% from 3, and her rookie year shot 18% from 3. And that's not ideal. 26% from the field as a rookie, and shot 37% from the field and 21% from 3 as a second year player. And I expect her numbers to be in the 30s. I think she's going to shoot, if she shoots 40% from the field, good. But I would expect the 3-point shot to be in the 30s. But that's not to say, like, Lexie Hull's bad and Unrivaled. It's just not true. It's like, it was an overall weird game for the Rose. Like, Angel Reese sucked too. This isn't a video about her struggling. If she struggles again, then she struggles against, they're playing the Laces, and the Laces are just have not been good. Since Kate Martin went down, they've really struggled. They lose, she does it again against the Laces, there will be that video. But right now at Lexie Hull, it's just, if you're a Fever fan, the only thing I would be worried about is the inconsistency. But I wouldn't be that worried. And the reason why is that's why Sophie Cunningham's there. That's why Dawana Bonner is there. I don't think Lexie Hull could be relied on for a full season as the starting small forward. But there are going to be games where Lexie Hull starts this year. There are going to be games where Lexie Hull comes in, has her good shooting games, bang, 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 and kills him. Because you know you're always going to get the effort on the defensive end. You know you're always going to get she's going to move well off the ball. She's going to cut when she needs to cut. She's going to run the floor well. And she's going to spot up weak side corner to Caitlin Clark a serious amount. And that is where she's most effective. Caitlin Clark's going to get her better looks. She's getting a lot of good looks in Unrivaled. And some days she makes them. Sometimes she misses them. And that's likely going to be the Lexie Hull experience. And it's why, again, there's a Sophie Cunningham there who is like more so than anything, like she's there. Like these players are more consistent. They're more consistent. That's simply put it. I think there were games last year that Lexie Hull played where she was the best. She looked like one of the better small forwards in the WNBA based on what she did. I'm not going to say the best because Kayla McBride exists. There were games where she looked really good. There were games where she changed the game. And ironically for the Fever, a lot of the games that she really changed, yeah, there was the games where she just became a sniper. But like the Liberty game, if we remember the Liberty game, she'd been getting DMPs, comes in and changes that game, dives on a few balls, gets a few steals. And I think that's what Lexie Hull's role is probably going to regress to. I think on the season, her averages per game, she's not going to play more than 20 a game. She's not going to start more than... Like, she's going to be third string to start the year, more than likely. Fighting with Sophie Cunningham for second string. But there's going to be a lot of games, I think, where lineups of Clark, Hull, where we could see Clark, Hull, Bonner, Cunningham, Howard. Like, that's a lineup that can be ran that'll play defense and run. Where you've got this type of almost like switch everything type lineup. If Caitlin Clark's put on a bit of muscle, where you can just blitz everything. Like, you can switch everything, but you blitz on the switch. Like, there's so much potential when it comes to what the Fever can do on the defensive end. And any of those type of lineups, Lexie Hull's going to be in there for. But I think a lot of fans are likely going to be disappointed by what we're seeing, by what you're going to see next year, because I think a lot of fans are expecting the post-Olympic break Lexie Hull, because obviously that's the last thing we saw. And honestly, if you look at Lexie Hull last season, it was really like 3 or 4 games. So like if you look at her in the playoffs last year, like she went 1 of 7 from 3, and a lot of people were talking about it being like, oh, she was just cold. But I'm like, she was 1 of her last 10 3-pointers last season. Like she went post-Olympic break 2 of 3, 6 of 7, 2 of 3, 4 of 6, 3 of 4. After that, she had a 4 of 5 game here. But other than that, like in the season, she was up to that point. She was what? She'd hit 4 of 6, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Like she was like 4 of 22. Like that's not great, is it? Am I right with saying 4 of 22 prior to the Olympic break? 2, 3, 4. Yeah, she was 4 of 22 3-pointers. So you're going to get games like this from Lexie Hull. That she comes out 6 of 7. Maybe not 6, 7, but the 4 of 6 games, the 4 of 5 games, they might happen. But there's going to be 1 of 6 games too. And that's the thing when it comes to Lexie Hull, is that next season especially, it's like don't overreact to the bad games when it comes shooting wise, because she is not she's not really the sniper that people expect her to be. I don't think she's going to be that next season. She's going to be the defender. Genuinely, I think that's what Lexie Hull's role is going to be, because whether it be the playoffs last season, whether it be her first 2 seasons in the WNBA, whether it be Unrivaled, there is enough of a sample size there to say that she's a bad shooter, that she's not a consistent shooter. And we're seeing it all right now. But anyway, yeah, that would be pretty much it, lads. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.